Hi, everybody. Charlie Velasquez here from Rugby in Florida, TFRO, talking Florida rugby occasionally. Today, we're going to be talking with the Miami Tridents, the premier team in Florida, we could say, as they play in D1 and are supposed to be starting their second season in the ARP in September. So, with no further ado, we're going to bring in Coach Dimitri. Hello, Coach.
Hi,
Mr.
Charlie. How are you?
Mr. Presidente, José Bermudez. How you doing, Jose?
Absolutely great, Charlie. Thanks for having us.
No, thank you. And Captain Matthew, last name.
Mairowitz.
I'm not going to venture there. How you guys doing? Thank you for coming. So I just wanted to bring you guys on because you have your season coming up. This is your second season. Maybe we can go quickly over your last season, Coach. That was a season where you guys did, I think, overall pretty well. You didn't win any games, but you tied 2 games. You know, when you tie a game, you could have won it, and there were some close games that you almost won. So it was, I think, a good season. This season it's going to be a little bit different. Let's just go over your last season. Here's your record from last season, Coach. If you want to take us through the last season quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, for me personally, it was a fun season. You know, overall, the night game was actually super interesting. We had 2 tries knocked on in the try zone?
Yeah, something like that.
That was just crazy. I mean, we had one guy actually kiss a ball before he put it down, and he knocked it on. So I don't think he got the name Besito just from that.
You want to say his last name?
I don't even know his last name. We just call him.
Let's just say he's no longer with us.
Let's just say, yeah, he got one of those one-way tickets.
Okay.
So no, great guy.
He may or may not be in Alligator Alcatraz.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that was a good start. I remember that game. It was wow. These guys, because we didn't know what to expect, to be honest.
Yeah, and we had 2 weeks to get ready, so we just kind of put it together the best we could, and we learned a lot. And I think it's something that overall in Florida in particular, we have to, as coaches and as clubs, not be so concerned. Yeah, winning is great, but we have to see the improvement of a team over a period of time, and that's really kind of where we really have to focus on, and that's really the goal for the ARP.
And it was I guess it was a really interesting experience being able to bring in all kinds of players, because you guys had a few from Miami Sharks team, and
yeah,
and so this I guess that was a very good thing. Then you had your D2 season, which was a little bit weird, right? Because you played the full season and then were not able to go into playoffs, so that threw you off a little bit in terms of keeping the competition. And then you went to the D1 finals and lost with the Austin Blacks. And I know that period between you ended the D2 regular season and the national finals, you just had 1 game, so that's really hard to overcome. So what are we looking at for this new season of the ARP? We were just talking offline that we had this. This schedule was the initial schedule, and you were telling me that now is what happened.
Yeah, so Charlotte unfortunately had to step down, and we are now going to play a similar round robin style with Life and with Atlanta, and then we're going to look to add potentially the Mexico national team in there as well, along with any other team that we can we can really get another match in. And that's pretty much it. It's challenging. It's not conforming, but that experience that our players get from these, and sometimes it's not just the matches, it's the training sessions. And Martin being here, he knows that the ARP sessions are a little bit tougher than the club sessions, and you can kind of squeeze the guys a bit more and expect a lot more out of them. So it's not just playing these matches, which obviously we all want to play. I mean, the training sessions are different, and also because the club players get a little bit of taste of what it's like to be around the professional players, and they can see how the professional players warm up, how their mentality when it comes to the game, the mentality on match day, the mentality on training. They arrive early, they bring bands, they get their body ready, and I think it's super important for our guys to see that and to also be around it. And then when it comes to the MLR season, they're actually even more excited to go because they're like, hey, I was playing on the same team with Casares and Bonasso and whatever else and Chase, and now to see them on the field, or on TV. And I think,
and I'm actually better than those guys. So,
it's really awesome. I for sure enjoy it.
So how is you guys are starting practice next week, right? I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're actually starting practice on Monday. We're going to be training Mondays and Wednesdays for the first half of August. Our current pitch at Athletic Range is going through a significant renovation, which we should be doing the grand opening at the end of August. So we'll be coming back home soon. But in the meantime, we're going to be training at North Dade Park, the Optimist Club in Miami Gardens. So we'll be having trainings there Mondays and Wednesdays, and the occasional Saturday trainings.
I actually have a picture of the pitch. Let me show it to you. There you go. It looks really beautiful.
I see. There was a slight edit there, Charlie.
Well, I don't know. It was just like that. I don't know if you guys got those posts from the Miami Sharks while they're not using them or what. But they look really great.
If you go to the rugby post and the football post, you get an extra point.
Why not? That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. So we were very lucky to work with the City of Miami Parks Department in order to be able to restore the field completely, new irrigation, new fencing. So that way our referees don't have to worry about fans getting onto the pitch. So that fence not only will save us setup time, but will also keep the friendly banter between the fans and the players.
No, it looks really great. And listen, if you actually do put in some nice rugby posts, I'll take those games for free, okay? I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Well, if you help put them up in the morning, but definitely we're very excited. It's one of the few parks in Miami that has actually opted to keep grass. There's
that's really amazing. Yeah,
there's a very big movement on turf all over the county because it's supposed to be lower maintenance costs. But we worked very hard with the youth program and with the parks as well in order to lobby to maintain grass and a safer facility for all rugby players in South Florida.
So, Matt, you guys already been practicing a little bit, touch and stuff like that. What do you know about the guys that are coming on? And I know you guys have put out there like an invitation for anybody who would like to participate, which is something interesting for anybody who would like to experience this level of competition. How has that response been, and how does the team look as far as you can tell right now?
Yeah, no, the guys have been super excited, and we decided to start kind of a preseason just so we show up to training, ready to go. So, we're actually able to be productive at trainings. And at first we thought it'd just be a couple of guys, but we ended up getting a decent amount coming out Mondays and Saturdays at Margaret Pace Park, which is pretty much a dog park right on the water. As well as Wednesday touch sessions. And we've been getting pretty good numbers in terms of active players, some new recruits. We have some college guys that come out as well as Miami Touch Rugby people. So really cool to see kind of the whole community come together and play and work hard. And yeah, in terms of new players, we do have a lot of interest from some guys that are in the area, a few guys from other clubs, a few guys that have just moved to the county and are excited to get started. Some know a lot about the ARP and Florida rugby, and some have no idea. So I think we'll have an interesting mix of guys this season, at least for the ARP, that are coming in ready to go. A lot of returners as well. And yeah, we just had our last fitness session today, and it was pretty hard. Cool to see the progress of. There was one guy who showed up the first week and literally couldn't even finish the session, and then today he was kind of leading the pack during our Broncos. So it's cool to see the progress.
It was very good.
It's cool to see, and yeah, I'm really excited for it. What'd you say?
It was great to see that they finally finished the training.
And what about? I mean, this is not a competition for guys who have never played, right? This is you have to have some experience, I guess. It's because
Yeah.
this would be the highest level before the professional game. And somebody's making some noise with the mic. I don't know who it is. What about some as you had last year players from the professional team from Miami Sharks? Have you got any of those locked in?
Yeah, a lot of those guys will be coming back. I mean, there are some. Man, that noise is really. There are some that are big. They have a little bit more of a leadership role as well. And Tomas Casares is probably so far the quite vocal, and he shared a lot of ideas, a lot of things he would like to try, a lot of kind of like and we already have an open platform, so to speak. We have our playbook set, but guys are always offering ways to make things different, change the shape, change the maybe sometimes even the vision a little bit based on what we need to do. So some guys are a little bit on the fence. A lot of them are recovering from injuries. There's guys around the MLR that are messaging me about coming here. Some of them are just coming out of surgery, so they want to get some games in before they go straight to the MLR. So we're trying to work all that out. We're a young team. We're a relatively small club, and maybe not for our state, but for our other parts of the country, we're quite a small club and with limited resources. And we're doing a lot of we're doing the best we can. And a lot of guys reach out and they'll say, "Oh, are you offering this? Are you offering that? Or you have a card? Are you going to pay match fees? All that stuff." And, we don't do that. We actually ask them for dues. So and we want to help the MLR players the best we can with the resources that we have. But at the end of the day, it's a club team, and we're looking after the players that we have here all year round, and we're trying to make the best experience we can for the professional players as well.
Tell me about you have been during the whole season, the MLR season, assisting with the Miami Sharks. How did that experience? What did it add to your knowledge, and how you can bring that to this team?
Yeah, I mean, every time you get to work with professional coaches. I mean, if you look at Coach José Pelizana, I mean, the experience he has alone on the international level is you can only learn. You can't really not learn. And of course, guys like the video analyst that's there, who's been part of Super Rugby teams and English teams, and you learn how different people think, how you see the game, and you kind of get to see what how accurate that is, or how relevant that is. And then and above all, there were for me, they were pretty nice. I mean, I was quite hands-on, more so than I expected, to be honest. And Coach has been just a great person to work with all around. Just kind of giving me the leeway on a few things, and you get closer to the guys, and you get to meet different people from different places, and potentially they'll come play for the Tridents, or maybe they won't, maybe they will. But you get to work with different people, you get to hear different ideas, different opinions, and you grow. You grow a lot, and you grow quickly. So.
What about the spring? What's going to happen? Because you guys have sort of put yourself in a situation in like a weird situation, right? I mean, compared to what you were used to. So, what are you going to do in the spring?
Look, I mean, I can answer that from my side, and I'm sure Jose and Martin have their viewpoints as well. We're trying to do the best we can with what we have at hand. If guys playing 4 matches or 5 matches in the fall, gives them superpowers, and then they can't play in D2, then that's what it is. The difference is we can have players, let's say, from other clubs play in ARP, but then we can just release them back to their own club and they can play D3. But for us as Tridents, that the only way we can get around that is by having enough players to be able to roster a D2 and a D1 side. So the question is, do we stay in D2 or do we push through on D1? Either way, it's kind of mess, because now once you do it, now you know we're going to start going back to, you know, so it's really tough, and we're trying to give our players the best competition that we can, and grow from there. I mean, is it ideal? No. Do I want to sit and watch the team train sort of for a month before having to play in one championship game? I mean, it's tough. You know, guys are not motivated. You know, they have every excuse in the book to miss training, and rightfully so sometimes.
No, and we had an interesting experience last year where we had Atlanta come down to play us. You know, they are now the national champion, so it was a very strong and physical game, mainly because Gonza Torres Garcia gave all our plays. You know, he's a two-time national champion. You know, the guy's
Traitor.
just hopping from one team to the next. But you know, I think the adjustment and that we had to make and the collaboration from other teams, you know, and our ability. Last year, we also played 2 friendlies with D1 teams. You know, we're constantly adjusting, and I think having that flexibility, having the coaching staff and the leadership through our captain and our officers as well, to be able to turn around those things rather quickly, you know, provides a better playing opportunity for our guys. And, you know, we should have some exciting friendlies as well. I know we've been talking already about some opportunities. So to be determined, but as soon as we have some confirmations, Charlie, you'll be in the top 20 that we'll let know.
20.
Well, you are in the top 20 rugby related podcasts in the state of Florida. So you
That
know.
is true. Right at number 1. Okay. I am. I just want to say this: the ARP. It on one hand, it sounds like it is a high level tournament. I'm so disappointed with the social media. Like, you can't find anything out on the social media. I don't know why that is. That is something I just wanted to comment, because I was really frustrated today trying to find something out.
Well, I'll tell you what it is, Charlie. You know, it's essentially these matches are essentially scrimmages. There is no, like, yes, there's a competition there, but the
Yeah.
matches are scrimmages essentially.
Yeah.
And then there's someone that, you know, we pay a fee, and that fee goes to someone actually working for those 3-4 months, and then after that, you know, that's kind of
Yeah,
about
it's fun. Okay.
the best. Is it the worst? I mean, it just is what it is. You know.
Okay. So, well, I don't know. That is more or less. Any plans, Jose, of adding any other division to the club? I don't know if I heard something about that.
No. I mean, right now we're not looking at that. You know, we're
Youth.
focusing youth. We continue to work very closely with the youth programs throughout South Florida. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to be having lunch with the new president of the Key Rats. You know, we've had a wonderful relationship with them, and really have been encouraging the collaboration. And you know, last season we had a couple of all-day rugby days at Athlia Range Park. And what we want to start doing is growing that and having more of a rugby festival for Saturdays, where we have 3, 4, 5 matches, invite the women, invite different divisions, and invite the youth rugby, because I think it really will start setting apart, you know, South Florida rugby. So that is definitely on the agenda of the things to discuss. And, you know, we continue to have a very beautiful relationship with St. Thomas University as well. I mean, Gavin has done an amazing effort in not only establishing that club, but also making it one of the premier in the nation. So, you know, we're very happy to collaborate with them. But aside from that, you know, it's how we're structured.
Okay. Yeah, that type of collaboration, no doubt, is great, because you make the life easier for other clubs, the youth especially, and having those days where those days are really enjoyable, when you go to the field early and there's already a game, and you have all these socials on the side, the smell of the barbecue, churrasquito. That really adds to the. And you should maybe start, you know, doing I would really like to see more attendance at your games. I don't know. Overall, attendance in Florida, man. Sometimes it's you ask yourself, where are all these girlfriends and moms and dads? Where are they? And the games that you guys play at that level, they are really enjoyable. It is something that maybe for young kids to go and watch this. It's pretty much the best rugby under the Miami Sharks.
Yeah,
So
100% Charlie. And I think to that point, like consistency is probably the biggest thing that we're trying to drive. Like a lot of people didn't even know that we were in the ARP probably last year, this year. I think college kids and youth kids are hearing more and more about it. So I think it's just us being as consistent as possible in terms of how many matches we play, our social media postings, word of mouth. I think over time people will start coming out to the games, but that's where we're at right now. I feel like it's just being as consistent as possible and getting the word out there that like, we're trying to grow how we're playing and who we're playing against, and we're here to stay.
yeah, maybe talk to them. Maybe organize a raffle at the end of the game. You can raffle some, I don't know, a car or something like that,
Car, yeah.
or one of those cheap Temu 65-inch LCDs.
Not a bad idea.
But I would really like to see more. You guys have had sometimes some good attendance, but last year was a little bit weird because you were bouncing fields, playing in some weird places. But now you have that field is probably going to be one of the best in the state if they keep it in good shape and you put rugby posts on it, for sure.
Well, we got rid of the softball pitch, so we'll have more area to train as well.
Oh, nice. Okay, good, man. You did a good job there. Okay, so I don't know if you want to add anything. People who want to join the Tridents for the ARP season are welcome, and they just be looking out for your social media announcements, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say that's the biggest thing. Like with our posts, reaching out to other clubs, other coaches, it's mostly just to get people playing rugby that are in the area. The other D2 teams won't start practicing until November, if that. So just wanting to give guys an opportunity to play high level, collaborate with us, have coaches come join training sessions, and overall just have, a lot of people at training to go up against each other so that we're properly prepared for when we play against these different teams. Like Jose or Dimitri mentioned, they can transfer back to their club after the ARP season. It's not a poaching play by any means. It's really just about playing together and getting to know each other. So we've reached out to other coaches and other clubs. I think some are interested, some might not be, but I know a lot of players that I've spoken to at touch sessions and other places are definitely interested. So yeah, everyone's more than welcome. Just reach out to us and yeah, we'll be posting about it.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you very much. Always a pleasure. As you see, I'm wearing the merch you give me, Jose. So
well, that's one of one. Those jerseys
That's the only one.
have disappeared.
I haven't got the new ones. I don't know.
I
might have
thought
to raffle
Miguel
that.
didn't need it anymore, so he left it behind, Now that he's in California.
Nice seeing you guys. Stick around for a second. I'm going to just end the recording, okay? Miami Tridents, everybody. Thank you very much. Bye.